You can write a perfect user story and still help your team build the wrong thing. Now here's how it happens to you. Your team gets a requirement. You turn it into a clean story. You write acceptance criteria you would happily defend in refinement. Your QA passes every one of them. Your screen ships. And your advisors keep opening the same 3 old systems. Nothing you built is technically broken. You didn't write the story bad. Your analysis failed 1 level above the story. There's a useful way for you to see that failure. Your analysis doesn't happen at 1 level. It happens at 3, and you are working in all of them at once. They're usually called the 3 horizons of analysis, and you're standing in all of them, whether you're planned it or not. Delivery asks what exactly you're building and how you'll know it works. Initiative asks what you're changing, for whom, and where the boundary sits. And strategy asks why your work is worth doing at all, and what outcome deserves the money. You're probably very comfortable down here. Delivery produces visible things you can point at. So, go back to your requirement. At delivery, you can make this look excellent. Your client's name appears, their account appears, your permissions work, your page loads inside 2 seconds. Green across the board. And your advisors still open 3 systems. Twice now. Because the questions that actually mattered to you were never story writing questions. Which clients? Everyone. Or the 200 generating most of your service complaints. Which information? All of it. Or the 4 things your advisors genuinely check before a meeting. And the dangerous one. Instead of what? Are you replacing one of these systems, or did you just build a 4th place to look? Those are initiative questions. You will often discover them while you're working at delivery. That part is normal, and it's healthy. But you cannot solve them by polishing acceptance criteria. Your story can be perfectly written and still sit inside a boundary nobody defined. So, here's the failure pattern. You didn't skip a document, you skipped a decision. And skipped decisions are very hard to see. You get no red status, you get no broken build, you get no failing test. You get green checks on something nobody needed. That's why your team can spend weeks improving requirements, while the real ambiguity is sitting 1 level above the requirement. There's a second mistake that makes this worse. You treat the 3 levels like a hierarchy of job titles. Strategy belongs to executives. Initiative belongs to program people. Delivery belongs to you. Now that's the wrong model. The level describes the decision, not the seniority of whoever asks it. When you ask which customer you're solving this for, you are working at initiative. Your title doesn't come into it. And it cuts both ways. When a director asks whether a field should be mandatory, that's a delivery question, whoever is asking. These also aren't 3 steps you complete once. They keep rolling, and they overlap. Something you find at delivery can change the scope at initiative. Something you learn at initiative can change an assumption at strategy. And strategy can change while your team is already building. Information travels down and back up. So, before you write your next story, ask one question. Where does the ambiguity live? If you can't explain why the work is worth doing, you have a strategy problem. Refinement will not solve it. If you can't say who's in, what's out, what outcome this owns, or what it replaces, it's an initiative problem. Don't reach for more acceptance criteria. That's the reflex, and it's the wrong one. Go and get the boundary instead. And if your purpose is clear and your boundary is clear, then you really are at delivery. Now, write the story. Now, write the criteria. Now, go hunting for the edge cases. Same requirement, but this time, somebody answered initiative first. Not all client information, the 4 facts your advisors actually use. Not every client, the group creating the service problem. And not another screen, a view that replaces one specific step in the work they already do. Now, your delivery story gets smaller, cleaner, easier to test, and much harder to misread. You didn't write a better story. You made the decision above the story. And that's what the 3 horizons are for, and why you want all 3 of them named. Strategy decides whether the outcome deserves the investment. Initiative defines the change and draws its boundary. Delivery turns that boundary into something your team can build, test, and learn from. Mix those decisions together, and your delivery work gets blamed for problems it was never able to fix. So, on Monday, before you open Jira, take the requirement in front of you and ask where the ambiguity lives. The worksheet I used here is in the description. And if initiative is the level your team keeps skipping, the next thing worth fixing is the boundary itself. Because most of the out-of-scope sections you write only list the things everybody already knew you weren't doing. The dangerous exclusion is the one nobody thought to write down. And that is in the next video.